places goes on inside that head of yours?
Speaking of nuclear, by the way, Trump administration officials fired more than 300 staffers Thursday last at the National Nuclear Security Administration, the agency that is tasked with managing the nation's nuclear stockpile.
What?
But it's worse than that. They barged in and fired people without knowing what it was that they did in an agency called the National Nuclear Security Administration. They just bowled in and said, you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired, without knowing what they did. In a place called the National Nuclear Security Administration. I mean, I'm not a registered self-confessed genius like Elon Musk. I'm not even as smart as his nose-picking kid. But even I know not to fire people whose job it is to make sure nuclear weapons are kept safe. Sources said that Elon Musk's teenage henchboys did not seem to know this agency oversees America's nuclear weapons. It's literally called the National Nuclear Security Administration. So they fired first and asked questions later. Or rather, later they were told that those people that they showed the door were actually quite important if you didn't want a bang that would blow the wig off a president thousands of miles away. And so they unfired those people while admitting no wrongdoing, of course, no loss of face. They'd rather we all die rather than they admit that they're wrong. And some of the fired employees included the National Nuclear Security Administration staff who were on the ground at facilities where nuclear weapons are built. Those staff that were fired oversee contractors who build nuclear weapons. They inspect nuclear weapons. And the Trump organization said, we don't need inspections. Inspections are woke. Let the contractors inspect themselves. More profits from less red tape. What could possibly go wrong? It also included employees at the National Nuclear Security Administration headquarters who write requirements and guidelines for contractors who build nuclear weapons. We don't need no stinking guidelines. Let God be your guideline. We can pray the danger away. A source told CNN they believe that these individuals were fired because, quotes, no one has taken any time to understand what we do and the importance of our work to the nation's national security. Correct, Amundo. That's the plan. Not to have one. Just barge in and fire everyone, give the money saved to Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and then hope by some magical process the organizations recreate themselves into something that works better and more efficiently, like Twitter. I mean, Twitter is an example that Elon Musk seems to be following. He took a well-functioning entity, barged in, fired almost everyone, made it a toxic shadow of its former self, and it lost 80% of its value. 80. But, no biggie. It's not like we need nuclear experts anymore. It's not like Vladimir Putin is bombing the nuclear plant at Chernobyl or anything. Why would we need experts when we can get a hat reading, "Make America Radiate Again"? We're doomed. Put your affairs in order.